What is up, my friends? Welcome to an Historic Deck Tech here on the official MTG Arena YouTube channel. My name is Jim Davis. I'm a professional Magic player and full-time content creator. If you want to see more from me, other great content creators here on this channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit all the buttons, do all the things. Today we're playing Historic, perhaps my favorite format on MTG Arena, a melting pot of all sorts of different things. Old standard cards, jumpstart releases, mystical archives, anthologies, just a whole bunch of awesome stuff coming together, making a really, really awesome format. We're playing one of my favorite decks in this format. I've taken a High Mythic multiple times in Mono Red Madness. So what is Madness exactly? For some of you newer players, Madness is a pretty old ability, actually, first debuted in Torment. And it's an ability where when you discard a card with Madness, you can play it for an alternate, usually lesser cost. So our two Madness cards in this deck are Fiery Temper and Blazing Rootwalla. These Madness cards are so good because anytime you cast a Madness card, it's a card you would have lost and you're instead gaining. It's almost like you drew a card when you cast it. So discard Temper, you get a Lightning Bolt. It's almost like you drew a card. And then of course, Blazing Rootwalla is free to cast whenever discarded as well, giving you a free threat, which is great. Now, these Madness cards wouldn't ban anything without enablers to get them going. So we need ways to discard cards that are both efficient and useful and not taking too much out of our primary plan. And we've got a lot of that. Faithless Looting is a card that's banned in Modern, and it's one of the best cards in this deck. 1 mana, super cheap, draw 2, discard 2. And if you cast Looting and you discard 2 copies of Blazing Rootwalla, you've now drawn 2 cards, and you get to keep the 2 cards you were discarding anyway, which is phenomenally good, and got a mana discount. So very, very powerful. We got Faithless Looting. Also, the Alchemy card, Artillery Enthusiast, really, really cool one here. Allows you to discard a card and then get a card of the same mana cost to seek, which is really cool. Discard a Fire Temper and get a Seasoned Pyromancer, which is awesome. We got Magmatic Channeler, our repetitive source of discard that can also grow into a large creature. And of course, the wonderful Seasoned Pyromancer, one of the best cards in the deck and one of the best cards in the format, honestly. Really great value engine. You can draw cards and of course can keep discarding cards for your Madness stuff. Now, all this discard stuff plays really, really well with your graveyard thing. So Managorger Phoenix, one of my favorite cards from the Jumpstart release, a digital only card, is a 2 mana 2/2 Phoenix that you never want to cast. You dump it in the graveyard. Then whenever you cast a red spell, it gets counters for the number of red pips on the spells that you cast, and it'll eventually come back as a larger creature, which is awesome. So discard the Managorger Phoenix, and of course Ox of Agonis is really good in the graveyard as well. Dump a whole bunch of cards and bring it back later. So graveyard synergy happening as well. Rounding it all out with Bomat Courier, Dragon Rage Channeler, and Unholy Heat. All cards that are really good cards in and of themselves, while Channeler and Bomat Courier have seen tons of play as 1-drops, as well as Unholy Heat being an excellent removal spell. But he's also doing a great job with your synergy as well. Dragon Rage Channeler can dump cards in the graveyard. Bomat Courier actually will discard cards from your hand. It's not uncommon in this deck to discard like 3 cards to Bomat Courier, but discard 2 Fiery Tempers and a Blazing Rootwalla, and get those cards in play for free as well for Madness, which is super cool. So really, really good core of creatures in this deck, as well as threats that are all work together to perform some wonderful synergy stuff. The lands of this deck are phenomenal. There are 11 mountains, obviously, but there are 10 value lands, 4 Ramanap Ruins, 3 Den of the Bugbear, which can provide extra creatures and extra damage, a Crucible of Defiance for more creatures, and then Shadow Skull Smashing, which can also be a spell as well as a land. So a lot of value. This deck almost never floods, which is awesome. It's horrible playing an aggro deck and flooding. This deck avoids that really, really well. Now, this is actually a really good proactive best of 1 deck, but we're playing best of 3 today, and it's got a great sideboard as well. We see here Grim Lavamancer, Molten Impact, and Goblin Chain Whirler. 3 great cards against creature decks. You can kind of board out of some of your aggressive stuff and board into a little more of a mid-range board control deck against creature decks. It's really, really cool. And Lavamancer allows you to kind of control the board, which is awesome. We got Rolling Vortex against decks trying to cheat in spells for free. We got Soul Guide Lantern against graveyard decks, Shadow Storm against artifact decks. Nothing too crazy, right? Chandra's great against control decks, which is awesome. It's a way to kind of recurring, have this non-creature threat in play. And then 1 Hazoret, very good against mid-range, very good against control. Just a kind of a good top-end card to have a 1 of. You always want to be drawing to. So that's the sideboard. That's the deck. Let's get right to the games. All right, let's get rolling here. I got to say that one of the things I really, really like about this deck is that it's totally unique to the Historic format. It is a deck that we can keep the same. We got 2 lands, 2 channelers, 2 heats, looking pretty good. It's a deck that doesn't exist anywhere else besides Historic as a byproduct of the really unique factors of the format. You just don't see Fiery Temper, Dragon Rage Channeler, and Faithless Looting all together in the same format, basically anywhere except for Legacy where it's not good enough. So very excited about the format in the deck. Takenuma here, and a discard spell. Sure. So they could take our land here if they're feeling frisky. But our hand's pretty good otherwise, honestly. Whether they take the land, the channeler, still a few kill spells. We have Pyromancer as well, which is kind of nice. So pretty tame hand overall. Taking the land. What a jerk. What a jerk, right? Alright, play Channeler, attack for 1. I just have my upkeep stop here, because if I want to cast these Unholy Heat, they play a creature. I want to cast in my upkeep to get my Surveils on. Thoughtseize, sure. Let's take Pyromancer, I assume. So, we already have sorcery and creature in the bin. It's got to be a visual bug there. 1 and 2, sure. Unfortunately, we have no lands, so bit of a rough start here. We do have 2 types in the graveyard. This will be 3. Blooming Marsh. They also missed a land drop, actually. So both missing land drops here. All's fair, right? All's fair. Yeah, they have a Tarmogoyf. So it's funny here. I think we're going to cast Unholy Heat. It's not going to kill Tarmogoyf, but it will hopefully get us Delirium. Although awkward, the higher our Delirium is, the bigger Tarmogoyf is. But I think like 1 red Surveil twice is worth it in this spot because we need a land drop and we want Delirium to start getting in the air. So we're going to cast this. It's not going to kill it, but double Surveil. Mana Gorger in the bin, sure. It's pretty cool. And then a Rootwalla in the bin, sure. Alright, so didn't really accomplish our task, and we also just didn't draw a land there either. So a little rough. A little rough here. We can just say go. See how his turn turns out. Old Tarmogoyf riding again here in Historic. Fatal Push. Yeah, I mean, alright. We got instant creature sorcery in the bin and a Fatal Push. Okay, well, this game's going about as bad as possible. No problems. In for 3. I don't think we really have. Now we draw a land, of course. Alright, I'm just gonna say go. We could double Unholy Heat to the Tarmogoyf. That is definitely in the range of things we can do. And I guess we just have to, right? Alright, yeah. It's also 2 triggers off of our Phoenix, which is pretty cool, too. So, Goyf is dead at great personal cost. Phoenix is currently on 2. Draw land, cast Pyromancer, try and get on the board here a little bit. Thoughtseize again. Whew! Alright. Super low resource game here. Both players stuck on lands. So we drew a, what's the Phoenix on? I'm sorry, it's on 2 or 3. It's on 2. We drew a land for Fire Temper, which puts 2 counters off Phoenix. Unfortunately, it doesn't bring it back yet. If it brought it back, I would just fire this thing off for sure, but here's Tarmogoyf. I'm just going to cast this. Now any spell brings back Phoenix, so untap and draw a Walla. Alright, I mean, real scrappy, crappy game here. Just trying our best. We got the Phoenix back. We have a Walla. They're at 10. We're at 16. Phoenix is, of course, excellent. We got Hive of the Eye Tyrant for land number 3. Let's untap and we draw our own land. Sure. Alright. Go get him, Phoenix. Alright, down to 7. Super scrappy game here. We draw a land against our Pyromancer, which is great. Or Bugbearing. Again, having the ability to have these mana sinks is so good in a deck like this. Should untap and say go. And we draw a land. Alright, so with 5 cards in hand, all spells, and 3 mana up here, definitely not going to fire the Bugbear. We'll just fire in the Phoenix. And they're probably going to kill it if I had to guess. Then we can just start Pyromancering. We have the Ramanap Ruins also, so these utility lands offer so much to the deck. 5 mountains right now, and we are probably an underdog. They're thinking. They don't want to kill this Phoenix. Just going to come back again for next time. Alright, here comes Phoenix. We got Fatal Push number 3. Sure. Alright, well, we're just going to play lands. There you go. Start Pyromancering. We also have this Den of the Bugbear as well, so Liliana the Veiled, not so good against us. For multiple reasons. Sack effect not very good. Discard effect not very good. So get Pyromancer number 1 there. We draw a Shatter Skull Smashing. Not too much to smash here. And once again, I think I'm just going to play a land and say go. Just going to leave it. Just going to end step Pyromancer and then fire a Bugbear on our turn. Just send a nice big attack in. We get the... All right. Awesome. Wow. That was a scrappy game. Missed some land drops, but opponent missed some land drops also. They had tons of cheap spells, but we were luckily able to grind through with our Pyromancers and our creature lands, and that's awesome. So, looks like it could be a 3-color mid-range deck missing a color, but at least Golgari mid-range, Tarmogoyf's kind of a classic, you know, Jund kind of style deck. This is where Hazard comes in. Non-negotiable. Definitely don't know how much graveyard hate they're going to have. Could have Scavenging Ooze, things like that. So, and the Chandra is a little iffy because they're on the play. So I don't necessarily want to bring in Chandra in a spot where it might just die. Although we can defend it pretty well. We're going to shave Enthusiast. And then I usually like shaving an Ox against potential graveyard hate. But Ox is very good here. I think I'm gonna stand just like this. Nothing too crazy here. We're going to hold off on Chandra. And then we'll see how many creatures they're playing and how aggressive they are. You know, are they more controlling? Are they more creatures, you know, ever? And we can decide if we're going to bring Chandra in. We'll also be on the play for Game 3. So we're bringing in Chandra on the play where it's easier to protect as well. So we'll see if they have Master Removal too. If they have like Meat Massacre and things like that, it'll be a little harder to protect because they can kill with tokens. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. All right, so game 2, we are on the draw, and our opponent has taken a mulligan. Now, we do have the looting here with this one lander to loot away Walla and go find a land. We have Channeler also. If they were to Thought Seize my looting, it honestly isn't even that bad. We still have Channeler. I'm going to keep this. Opponent mulliganed. If opponent Thought Seize our looting, it's fine. I think it's okay. Opponent mulligans again. So opponent's on 5 cards now. Super low resource game. They have Blood Crypt tapped and say go. So, we're going to go land. We're going to go Channeler. Channeler first. And why we cast a Channeler first? We want to get a threat in play. But that's mostly it. We want to get a threat in play. We want to get a threat in play. And then we can surveil off the looting as well. And if they kill us, whatever, it's fine too. And we don't really need the looting yet because we don't need a land. And now we do. So now it's time to cast looting because we need to find this land. So, if we had drawn a land there, we could have like maybe done something else. But fire up the looting. We got the old double land, double discard. God. Madness. This is madness. All right, now we're in phenomenal shape. Double Wallas. Something that was just a 1 red draw 2. Play a land and say go. We have Pyromancer next turn. Might want to hold off on it though, because if these tempers want to discard too. So let's see how their turn 3 looks. And they are Jund, so they were missing a color last game. Here is Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Now, really don't want this Goblin attack. Usually, actually, we could actually just like. I don't know. I think I'm just going to Fire Temper the Goblin. And next turn we can Pyromancer Fiery Temper. Yeah, but this is like not... You don't often cast Temper for 3 here. But this is a combination of like... Not wanting to have the Goblin, wanting to get our attacks in. I don't want to cast Pyromancer this turn anyway. So I have better plans for it in the future. So... They're going to Fable, discard 2. They're going to play another Fable. Sure. But now we're in great shape. Now I get to go Ox too. This is great actually. So we go land, Pyromancer. We discard the Ox and the Temper. So discard a card for value and a card for madness. We're going to draw Smashing Holy Heat. Got a Temper of his Goblin. And just gotta get in here. A card like Meat Massacre would be pretty annoying. But I don't think that, you know, these decks usually play a card like that, so we'll see. Obviously have their own creatures too. Plenty of removal here. We got Pyromancer going as well. And again, with Pyromancer, you almost want to empty your hand anyway. Pyromancer's so good in this deck is like, you want to discard things, but there are times where you just get empty-handed and cast it and draw 2, and that's also amazing as well. So, really using every part of a Pyromancer for maximum value here. Here's Tarmogoyf. It's going to be a 4/5, so pretty well sized. We currently have instant, creature, sorcery, and they have land. We draw another Shadow Skull Smashing. We definitely want to heat this Reflection. We can't let them untap with Reflection, I don't think. But we can also kill the Tarmogoyf if they block one of my... Actually, I'm sorry, I don't actually have a Delirium yet. So... I think we just jam. Honestly. Just attack. We're going to jam, and we're going to kill the reflection. Well, I guess it's actually grows Tarmogoyf again, but whatever, it's fine. This is going to be putting a jam in the graveyard, but whatever. At this point, we're just going super wide, so they'll block a Walla, they'll take a whole bunch, and we'll go land, Pyromancer, draw. Don't mind throwing away a creature or two here for damage. We're also building our graveyard for Ox of Agonis. So once we have 8 other cards in our graveyard, we can cast Ox, draw some cards. So we're looking to empty our hand here anyway. They're blocking the Pyromancer. Right, we're going to pump the 1 Walla. Will they have a Fatal Push to kill it? Feels like yes. Yes, no, maybe so. Looks like it. Yes, no, maybe yes. Okay, sure. So kill the Walla. And we're trying to deal 3. And then we're going to play this untapped. And we're going to play Pyromancer. Get a token, draw 2 cards. And we draw a Mana Gorger and an Unholy Heat. Cool. So we got now 9 cards in the bin. So our Ox is live. We want to get this Mana Gorger in the bin as well. So Ox can help do that. Once again, we can heat the reflection. Keep that thing off of the table. And they got some work to do here, honestly. This can't, of course, activate yet. Does not have haste. So here comes Tarmogoyf. This is a kind of sketchy attack. I think I want to block here. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. This is a very weird attack, and I could see a sweeper or something coming, and maybe another big blocker, and like 5's a lot, and we have a lot of card advantage here. I'm just going to block. I would say on the surface this seems wrong, but I think we're already ahead, and it's good against a lot of the things that kind of like just cheese us out. So next turn we're attacking for a lot anyway. They have Riveteer's Charm. Wow. Alright, they're going to exile my graveyard, which is pretty good, I guess. Not the worst, though, honestly. Now we're definitely soft to a Master Removal spell if they have it, but it's funny, it actually shrinks the Tarmogoyf, too. Yeah, we're just going to jam. Alright, just put it all out there. And we're going to Mana Gorger, and then I guess we'll hold this mountain. There's no real reason to play it. We don't need to make 2 land drops next turn, so we'll just say go. And we draw looting, we want to be able to have a card to discard. Now they're at 6, so if they were to cast like Anger of the Gods this turn or something, then yeah, then they'd probably have us. But I think I'm feeling pretty good here. Riveteer's Charm, little Jund, classic Jund deck. Somebody call Reed Duke. Reed, someone's playing your deck. Yeah, you gotta. Oh, is this you? No? Anyone? Reed Duke, Hall of Fame Magic player, loves Jund. Tarmogoyf. Witherbloom, and they got all the goodies. Witherbloom command mill 3, return a land, and then give a creature -3/-1. They could have also drained and chose not to. So they're gonna mill over a bunch of stuff here, actually. A Liliana. Their own channelers. They're gonna get back a Blightstep Pathway. That was a huge Tarmogoyf, 6/7. And I'm glad I blocked that turn, honestly, because I would have been at 12. And they could have had me dead on 2 swings right now, so I like the choice to block that turn. I think 1 token was worth 5 life for sure. Can they can't even really attack here. So we drop Bomat Courier, but we can. Hello. The old Boko. This is going to grow the Tarmogoyf even more. When this dies, but we're going to attack with everything. And then if they block the Courier, we just sack it and draw a card. But they actually can't because they're at 6. They're just taking 6 here anyway, so they kind of have to block the Seasoned Pyromancer. And you go to 1. Then I have activation on Pyromancer and Courier up, so nope. If a kill spell. Okay. So we're going to sacrifice this and draw our 1 card. Well, my Courier almost always at least cantrips. Worst case scenario when you're empty-handed. Draw land, not cool. They're going to kill something. Maybe stomp the Pyromancer maybe, or the Flyer. Alright. Alright. I mean, there are 2. You know, like, just got to finish them off here. We got the Phoenix in the graveyard, 17 life. They need to have multiple blockers here. They actually can't beat the board. That is a gutsy attack. So they must have a way to beat this, to beat the board here. Sure. So we'll just attack with everything. Present lethal. If they kill they have to kill Pyromancer, or they just lose, then I can always flash it back and block stuff, so this feels pretty safe. They got the push to stay alive. Alright, they do. But again, I don't really think I see a way out here for them. Even though we've drawn a lot of lands this game. We just get to flashback Pyromancer. We can jump block Goyf if we have to, and then obviously there's a 1, so Mana Gorger Phoenix. Game was a little closer than I'd like to have been, honestly. Pretty good, pretty scrappy game from our opponent. 7-8 Tarmogoyf, freaking huge. So they stay back here, and then they are not dead. They are not dead because I don't think I would attack here, honestly, because if they have any rule spell, we just lose. We do have the win on the board, but let's see what we draw. Let's see if we feel like we have to attack or not. They're going to pause in our upkeep. All right, let's draw. We draw Bowman Courier. All right, we're in. Because Bowman Courier means we also have now we have a 4th lethal attacker and a redraw also, so we're coming in. And if when the Crusher blocks, we can just kill it and then be at exactly enough. All right, awesome, sweet. So sweet, nice scrappy game there versus a mid-range deck. We'll take that win. All right, on the play, Gigantha the Wellspring is the enemy. That could be a lot of things, honestly. And our hand's honestly pretty bad. This is the kind of hand where it looks fine, right? We have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop, and 4 lands. A lot of value lands too. But the reality of this hand is that, like, we don't ever want to cast Blazing Rootwalla for 1 red. And we don't ever want to cast Phoenix at all. So if we're playing Walla on 1 and Phoenix on 2, or we're playing a bad draft deck at that point, you know, and then Pyromancer on 3 to discard some lands maybe. So this is the kind of hand we can mulligan. I know it looks like it might be a keep because we have lands and spells, but this is a synergy deck through and through. So let's mulligan here and try to find a better hand. And that's a lot better. All right, sweet. So we're going to keep this. We got Channeler on 1, a couple kill spells, Pyromancer, and Ox. The question here is, are we bottoming the Ox or the Temper? No discard outlet for Temper just yet. An Ox is a good late game card. We have Channeler to fuel the Ox too. I'm going to discard the Temper. Let's keep this, shift Temper. So we have Channeler, removal spell. Hopefully find land 3. We'll discard the Ox and a card and kind of keep things going here. Hopefully if Channeler lives, we can... ooh, it's the Gate deck. We can get some things going. It's actually going to be very, very bad for our hand, unfortunately. I built a Gate deck like this pretty soon after Baldur's Gate came out on Arena. The Baldur's Gate, the literal land Baldur's Gate, is exceptionally good in this Gates deck. Very, very good. Turns into a very, very real deck. And maybe I'll get a chance to play it on the Arena channel at some point soon, because it is one of my favorite decks also. Super cool historic deck. The problem here, of course, is that we have almost nothing. We draw a land here real bad. We did not draw a land. All right, we're in some pretty big trouble here. Unfortunately, this is almost like a Tron deck in a way. It's a big mana deck. Not a lot of interaction, but they do have Gates Ablaze. But once they get going, they get going. And so our removal spells are pretty terrible here, and missing a land drop is pretty terrible also. So, see what we can do. They have a slow start, but we are not applying enough pressure to really do much, so we draw looting. All right, I mean, that's a start at least. Cast looting. We're going to bin a looting. Want Delirium here really bad. Bin a land. I know we want to keep lands, but we want Delirium this turn. So discarding a sorcery and a land is reasonable. And we're going to draw a Mana Gorger and a Pyromancer. We didn't draw a land, unfortunately. And we're going to have sorcery, land, instant creature. So we'll have Delirium at least. That's good to see. Unfortunately, though, we are still a little behind the 8 ball. We'll attack and say go. We have a heat for 4. If they have a Gatebreaker Ram, that's going to be pretty big. I guess they are dead in 2 turns, but here's Baldur's Gate and a route. So this is like the turn. So Baldur's Gate is a land that adds mana for all your gates, and then route goes and gets gates. So next turn, they're going to have like 10 mana. And we can't really kill them this turn, so we might be in trouble here. They're going to get 2 more gates. And we're going to untap and draw a Temper. I mean, we didn't draw a land, unfortunately, so I think we're dead here, honestly. Just a few too many land drops missed. Really cool deck, though. This Gates deck is really, really cool. All right, here comes Baldur's Gate. So they're going to make 5 green mana. They have 8 mana total. Gates Ablaze to kill my stuff. We're going to cast Unholy Heater and just scry twice, honestly. Puts a counter on the Mana Gorger, try to find land number 3, because we just don't have anything else going on. So counter off Gorger, we get to Surveil twice. Channel goes to the bin. And Bomat Courier goes to the bin. Alright, so, I mean, double Temper is our best chance to win, probably. Draw land, discard Ox, Pyromancer, and then hopefully draw, I mean, 2 Tempers, I guess. I play an Explorer, sure. And play a Gate. And play a Gate. 2 of the same Gate here. This is a Maze's End deck also. Maze's End is a wacky land where if you activate it and have 10 uniquely named gates in play, you'd win the game on the spot. So, we drew a land, but probably too late here, honestly. Pyromancer. We got the Phoenix. We're going to discard the Ox and the Pyromancer. We're going to keep this Temper in our hand. We draw Looting and another Unholy Heat. Is it all 4 heats? This is not really a good Unholy Heat matchup. Phoenix is on 3. Alright. They have... Now they have almost infinite mana. They have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. This can do... that's 9, 11, 12, 13, 14. They have 16 mana right now. Of all colors. They have a card draw off of these gates. Which can seek non-land cards for 4 mana each. We are dead to Hydroid Crisis here. Root Spiral. Alright. They got the mana. Never looking. Explore. Okay. Gatebreaker Ram. So that is a big sheep. 12-12. And Gates Blaze. Alright. Let's see. This thing has Vigilance too. So buy Gigantha. Can't cast it though. We draw Shatter Skull Smashing. So they're currently at 6. Our Phoenix is at 3. So if I cast the Temper, I can return the Phoenix, and that might sneak in lethal, assuming they can't kill us next turn. So we're just gonna play this tap to go and hope for the best. I want it to be a surprise. I don't want them to know that they're dead. So I'm not. We could just like looting here and then discard Temper. But they seem like they're mostly out, and it might make them less pressed to like look for a way to gain life or something like that. So I think we're just gonna play Smashing Your Tap and say go. I know we can be more efficient, but I think that like this is a cheese out game. We need to cheese our opponent out to win this game. So let's not let them know what's going on. Obviously, we could have oxed and like we didn't, so it looks a little weird, but could have guessed looting, could have oxed. So if they're like able to, kind of think about it, like the deuce, like what could we possibly have here while we would be not play ox and stuff, they should be able to figure it out. But let's see if we can't steal a game here. Here goes the Baldur's Gate for 9 mana. 10, 11, 12, 14. We have 16 mana again. Play another route. Maze's End does enter tap, so Maze's End cannot win the game on the spot without being in play first. Once they have a... No, it still doesn't do it, so... 5 mana floating. They're going to fire up one of their gates. Not the green one, honestly. It's kind of a little weird, but... So they just seek an online card. So they just drew a spell, and they still have 6 mana available. They have no blue, though, because they tapped the blue for some reason. So now they can't Crisis. Oh, I'm sorry, they do. I missed that one. They have Guild Summit. This is all great, but... Unless they can get this thing up to a 19-19 or find someone to finish this off here. They're going to draw cards. Sick. Alright, so we still in the game. Play Gate, draw a card. You can see here that they are in complete dominating control of this game. A 15-15, a card draw engine, 1,000 mana. But we are just going to steal it by the skin of our teeth with exact lethal. So Temper, upstairs. Take 1. Return the Phoenix. It has flying. No reach, no sneaky reach here, right? Let me fire in. And somebody called police. We just stole the game. So I was very lucky on our part, honestly, that they didn't really have a good way to gain life, a Hydro Crisis, something like that. We always stole that game, for sure. For sure. But we'll take it. You're not going to be upset about it, right? So they have Gates Ablaze, which is obviously a good sweeper, which is pretty annoying. And unfortunately, they're the kind of like combo control deck, kind of combo control ramp that is good against decks like this, because we don't have any counter spells and like that. And they're comboing essentially because they're Troning. And we need to try and kill them fast, but they also have this sweeper effect too, which is scary. So What are we going to want here? Unholy Heat doesn't really kill that much, as you saw in that game. Probably want the Vortexes. We're trying to burn them out. I guess Chandra sort of does that too. I guess the Hazoret can play maybe as well. Bring in the Chandra and the Hazoret. I'm going to shave an Ox. Not really a fast matchup. Lavamancer, Molten Impact, Chain Rollers. Yeah, nothing else really here. Honestly, it's even worthwhile. So, just gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Try and play around the Sweeper if we can. Get some damage through and try and burn them out. That's gotta go. No Arboreal Grazer is the hope here for game number 2. All right, so another pretty mopey hand. Again, no real enabler, double tempers, no play till turn 3. I think this hand's a mulligan just on average, but especially in a matchup like this, where our opponent's just kind of doing this big thing, we need to kill them quickly. So we're gonna mulligan, and mulligan into Channeler, Enthusiast, Walla, double temper, Mana Gorger. We're gonna keep this. It's got some, it definitely could fall apart if we don't draw land in the first few draw steps, but we can discard a Mana Gorger, we can discard a Walla, put all that stuff in play, get Channeler going. So we need to draw like a land or a looting. Another 1-drop would be fine. I'm going to dump one of these tempers because they're a little too awkward, I think. So, got a couple draws here. They play tap land, so no, we draw a land too, sick. Alright, so we draw land, and we're going to go Channeler. We could go Enthusiast plus Walla, which could set up for a looting on turn 2. Which I kind of like, actually. We can also discard the Mana Gorger, but I think just putting the creatures in play is a little better. Yeah, we're going to Artillery here and discard the Walla. Channeler with no spells is a little rough, so discard Walla. And we're going to draw another Walla, sure. Let's go. No Grazer, please. Basic Forest. Explore. Okay. So a pretty good draw on their part. They have a red land, too. They don't have a red land, which is good. Draw their land, too. Okay. So we go land. We're just going to Channeler and then pump. If they have a Gates of Blaze, they can't cast it yet because they have red. And they shouldn't be able to play an untapped red source, really. So we're getting some shots in at least, right? So we get it for 4 this turn. Next turn's 5. And then we'll see what we're going to play. There's a Plaza of Harmony. Ooh, gain 3 life. Pretty powerful. So untap land that gains life. You have Gates. Here's your Growth Spiral. Put in a 3rd Simic Guildgate. And another Explorer. Whew! But they had no land there. Okay. And we draw looting. Alright. So we're kind of doing it here. Let's play land. We actually have 3 cards you want to discard, not 2 here, which is kind of awkward. I'm going to actually hold the Walla. Actually, let's think here. We're going to cast looting. We want to discard Phoenix, and maybe we just want to go super wide here because they don't have red yet. Now, because of Plaza of Harmony, though, this taps for any color of a gate they have. They can play a tapped red gate and then Gates of Blaze immediately, so it's not like they can't Gates of Blaze next turn. And they do have 3 spells in their hand because they didn't play a land of Explorer, so that's pretty scary, honestly. I mean, if they don't have red yet, though. So we should probably just go all out here, honestly. Let's start by casting looting. We gotta know what we're drawing to know we know what to discard. I'm gonna just dump this. This is a very fast Delirium, hopefully. That's an artifact and a creature. And we draw a Pyromancer. So artifact, creature, sorcery. If we've tempered them now, we get Delirium. We might not even bother Mana Gorger Phoenix, honestly. I think we're just gonna play Walla and Temper. So Walla Temper. This will give us Delirium. And play the board, of course. Temper upstairs. Surveil, Mana Gorger in the bin. Cool. Might matter, might not. You know, it's pretty far away, honestly. But pump this and attack. So you attack for 7 here. Now they're at 9. They're actually dead on board. 3, 6, 9, 10. Do they have the red? Survey says. Graces for 3. Okay. A little bit of a stop gap. Very lucky they didn't have his last game, honestly. They play another Forest and a Grazer. Alright. So, they didn't find red, but they have blockers now, which is obviously reasonable. And they have a black gate. So they have not been able to find their red source. If they find it, though, things get a little ugly. We draw another Mana Gorger Phoenix. Alright. 3 in the air, 3 in the graveyard. So we're going to play land. Let's play land Pyromancer. Discard both Phoenixes, make 2 tokens. This one in the graveyard now is currently on 2. Draw a Channeler and a Ramanap Ruins. Alright, just attack everything. Attack all. Krasis trades with the Channeler. Grazer will block one of these Wallas probably. And the question is, I think we actually pump the unblock Walla because their way to win this game is a sweeper. And there's no point in killing the Grazer because they're going to sweep anyway next turn. Either they sweep or they lose. So we're going to pump the unblock Walla to get more damage in. So put them down to 6. Will they find the red land? Nope, they're going to gate. They're going to draw a spell. Spells aren't red lands, and that's the game. All right, sweet. So, a little lucky their draw was awkward that game for sure. But hey, we'll take it. We're going to mulligan this stinker of a hand here. We're also on the draw, so we can keep this. Stands reasonable. So, keep this hand and just get rid of a land. We've got turn 1 creature. We got a looting, a madness card, and a removal spell. So, unfortunately, we're a little light on threats, but we can try and make things work. We got a Howled Fountain. Buckle up. Might be in for a long one here. Bomat Courier, do your thing, buddy. Mail's here. And we say go. And a Strict Proctor. So this is the blue-white control deck that plays the card Lotus Field. And Strict Proctor try and cheat the Lotus Field into play. We're not going to let that happen, obviously. So we're going to go land. We're just going to go looting here. This is great looting for us. We're just got the madness starting on turn 2. We're going to looting. Discarding, ooh, is a Manic Orchard Phoenix too? Ooh, that's pretty good too. I think we're just going to discard the Walla and the Temper though. Just get on the board here. So, let's discard the Temper and the Walla. We're going to double Madness here. So we get the Madness twice. So once again, we've just drawn 2 cards here. It was 1 red, draw 2 cards. And then we got a discount on both of these cards. So, kill that, kill this. Make sure no Lotus Field shenanigans enter the fray. And get it for 1. And just keep rocking and rolling. We'll definitely like to draw a land next turn. Cast Pyromancer, discard a few cards, but we'll see what happens. Third land, go. No land for us, unfortunately, but it's okay. Let's keep the heat going. Manic Orchard Phoenix is not a card you usually want to cast, honestly. It's a card you really want to discard for value, so we're going to hold on to that. Play a Courier, and we'll fire in here. We got 3 cards under this Courier, 1 here, and the Walla here. Now, we could pump Walla for more damage, or we can leave up the draw ability on Bomat Courier if they can play a Supreme Verdict next turn. Binning the Phoenix and the 2 Pyromancers is pretty good, honestly. So, given that they've done nothing this turn, I think a Verdict is fairly likely next turn. I'm just going to pass the damage here and see what they do. Alright, so we'll say go. And I think they're casting Verdict. I will sack this Bomat Courier most likely. They could have a Charm here. Sure, Charm, draw 2. You know, we would like to cast Pyromancer, we don't have any lands yet anyway. We want Phoenix in the bin, and Heat isn't really that great here. So there's your Verdict. Alright, so we're going to discard our hand. So this might look a little weird discarding 4 to draw 3, but the Heat's only here anyway, and Phoenix is a card we want in the graveyard, and Pyromancer in the graveyard is also fine too. So we're going to pop this and see where it takes us. And we've drawn Channeler, Temper. So still no lands. There's a land in Shatter Skull Smashing. And we are currently... Where's my Delirium counter? Doesn't count. Artifact, creature, instant, we have Delirium. I'm not sure why the counter isn't there on the card, but... and we'll just double up. Play Channeler. Counter off Phoenix. Play Channeler. Counter off Phoenix. And let's play this tapped. There's tapped. And say go. So good start for them, and definitely a little bit awkward start for us here on the draw. And our, we had to play a little bit of our cards a little bit awkwardly, but still in pretty good shape here. Definitely part of the allure of this deck is that it grinds really well. The ability to kind of just keep doing our thing. So, draw a Pyromancer, but they have a possible Shark Typhoon for 3. And we're just going to attack and see if they have that. Honestly, we'll just attack. So, Channelers are obviously attack for a lot. This is 6 damage coming in. They have the Wandering Emperor. So, this is going to eat one of the Channelers. And gain some life. Now we could temper the Emperor, but I'm just gonna cast Pyromancer here, I think. So this is fine. They gain 2 and deal 3 and play Pyromancer. Phoenix is not back yet, but almost. Discard Temper. Can't Madness it, unfortunately. They're gonna stifle the trigger on Seasoned Pyromancer, so I don't draw the cards. They're playing Stifle once again for Lotus Fields. Interesting. So here's Teferi. Draw. Game is starting to slip away a little bit. There's your Lotus Field. Of course, Lotus Field very, very good. Even with Teferi, play fairly because untapping, get the mana up for it too. Make a token. They definitely have another Wandering Emperor, which is not good for us either. We draw looting, which is pretty good. Let's cast looting. We can fire off our temper. This brings our Phoenix back. We're going to bin a land. And we're going to draw a Walla and a looting. Excellent. Discard looting and temper. Again, I think they have another Wandering Emperor, but I think we just got to go. We're gonna kill this and attack the Fairy directly. So there's your Surveil again. Bin. Constant Surveils off the channel are super awesome. So, and yeah, we're just gonna attack the Fairy again. Might get Wandering Emperor here, but what can you do? No, wow, okay, take that to Fairy. And now we're looking pretty good. I mean, wouldn't mind. It's funny, we wouldn't mind drawing lands. We're still gonna bin the lands there, but like, oh my god, that's a nasty one. All right, they're gonna cast Farewell, which is one of the best supers against us. Most supers against us are a little iffy, but this one exiling both the cards in play and the graveyard's pretty tough. So let's see if we can rebuild here off this looting. I'm just gonna cast it. We have a temper. Again, always cast it with purpose. We draw an Ox. Which is pretty awkward because we have no graveyard now, obviously, and we don't have 5 lands to cast it either. This is pretty tough. So we're gonna have 3 cards in the bin. All right, I'm gonna keep the Ox. I think casting Ox is possible path to victory here. All right, so there you go. Definitely not in good shape. Farewell's pretty nasty and no Stream Trawler, and that's the game. Alright, so let's pack it up and go to game 2 here. We can't beat the Stream Trawler, so it gains life and draws cards, so that's okay. Tough first game there. Definitely a little stumbly on our draw, and they had some good answers and good spots. We get to bring in a number of interesting cards here. We get to bring in our Chandras. Hazoret, not so good here. It's good against decks that don't have exiling or removable, but they do. We got Whirling Vortex is fine. Heat can target planeswalkers. I guess it also kills the 1/3, which is kind of important. But let's see what we're taking out here. Like shaving an artillery and a looting in a matchup like this, because we don't really need to. You know, looting is effectively card disadvantage if you're not menacing, and the games are going to go long. We don't really need that effect. Also bad against graveyard hate too. So, and then. I mean, I wouldn't mind shaving a heat. I wouldn't mind bringing in these vortexes, too. Let's probably bring the vortexes. Let's shave a heat. And maybe shave an Ox. Ox is bad against graveyard hate as well. Trying to hedge a little bit. We're not going to remove all of our graveyard cards, but just trying to hedge against them having graveyard hate, so our cards still work, cards still do things. We could play a card like Lelia on the board, in theory, where it's like a total non-graveyard threat. Definitely a possible sideboard card you could play. The card's very, very good, but very important to have a plan post-sideboard as far as beating graveyard hate, rest in peace, so on and so forth. So another mulligan here, unfortunate, which isn't ideal, but a mulligan too. Another good hand, which is great. Keep this, and we are going to keep the looting. We're going to... I think discard the Vortex. I mean, we want to go... I guess we actually have no turn 1 play. Our turn 1 play might actually just be looting, discarding Walla and Mana Gorger. Turn 2 Vortex. Let's just go to British Temper. Let's do this. Don't often cast looting on turn 1, but, you know, given that we have no other 1-drop and 2 good things to discard, we're pretty happy with it. So, looting, and we'll discard Phoenix and Walla. So we got a Phoenix in the bin, already has a counter on it. We got turn 2 Vortex, we got a Den of the Bugbear. They got a tap land. Well, fortunately, we haven't drawn much besides the lands, but let's see what we can do here. Alright, no play on turn 2 is pretty good. Now, they could, of course, have a Strict Proctor into Lotus next turn. And unfortunately, we've drawn all lands. So, don't really have a good follow-up against that. We might just cast looting here, honestly. I'm not really thrilled about it, but we just don't have anything else to do at all. And we can't even leave up heat to kill the 1/3 in response. It only does 2 damage. So, just gonna looting. We could get it for 3 here, obviously, but I think that setting up for future turns is better. So let's cast looting. And looting's going to draw a Enthusiast and a Chandra. Chandra's very good. Let's discard a land and discard the Enthusiast. Nothing good to discard at the moment. That brings up our Delirium count to just 2, I suppose. We have creature land. So take one, take one. Hopefully no Proctor plus Lotus Field here. Alright, just the land. And we draw a Bowman Courier. So we really want this this Chandra to resolve. And this is a pretty big counterspell turn for them. We're trying to Courier. Getting Courier down ASAP is pretty important too. Phoenix is on 3. However, it is important to know that if we cast a Chandra there, the Phoenix would have come back. But if we cast Chandra and they like counter it, untap, and Wrath, it's pretty bad. So let's get our Courier going here. Get some damage in with the Rootwalla. Attack like this. Add a card. And after no blocks, we're going to pump the Walla. Walla, 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 walla. And they've got a Archmage's Charm to steal my Walla. That's rude. Honestly, this isn't that bad, though, because they've turned their counterspell / draw 2 into a Blazing Rootwalla. Like, they killed the Walla, I guess, but, you know, isn't that bad, so we can also heat that. This is on 3. Alright, so we'll say go. We're going to end up heating the Walla, most likely, because we don't want it to block our Bowman Courier. They play a Ganjo. Alright, so cast and Holy Heat. That's the 4th counter on the Managorger Phoenix. And wouldn't mind drawing a land here, honestly. Untap and take one. Well, it is a land. It's a tap land, unfortunately. But because if we attack into Wandering Emperor, they kill our Courier, and we can resolve Chandra, which is probably worth it, I guess. Yeah, let's play land. So we have the option to discard if we really want to. Sending Courier. And they have Emperor. So this is like, you know, us attacking into their Emperor, but the reality is that our goal is to resolve Chandra this turn. So they're gonna make a 2/2, which is actually a little risky because if I had a rule spell, I could just kill the 2/2. But so we're gonna lose our Courier. This is fine. I think that getting Chandra in play is more important than anything else. So let's do that. Let's play Chandra. Return our Phoenix. And we're going to minus and kill this 2/2. Yeah.
My hair is on fire? I know.
Alright, so say go. Vortex chipping away.
Hair smell?
Managorger's here as a 3/3, which is awesome. Got Chandra in play, double Bugbear. They're going to main phase Charm and draw 2. That's a good sign, folks. That's a very good sign. They're going to Fateful Absence to Managorger Venus. Awesome. Now I have a clue, and it's back in the graveyard. Vortex take 1. We draw out Ramanap Ruins. Alright, let's plus Chandra. We gotta cast the card in, so let's play this land first. Plus Chandra, draw. Top card is the land, doesn't work. Let's draw. Now we can Bugbear or draw off the clue. Bugbear would kill the Wandering Emperor, and we'd kill Wandering Emperor. They can attack back and kill my Chandra, though. Or I can draw 2 off the clue. I'm going to draw a card off the clue, but if I do that and I whiff, then we kind of just lose everything. Kind of think we just fire up the Bugbear. And the question is, do we attack both at Wandering Emperor, the Bugbear and the Goblin token, and guarantee killing Emperor? Or do we just attack them? Or do we split them up? We go 3 to them and 1 to the Emperor. They probably block the 1. And they go to 8. Then they go to 7. And we're, you know, getting close to killing them. I think I like that, actually. So, token attacks Emperor. The Bugbear attacks them. So the more valuable thing's attacking them. They're not going to die, so sure. So, they're down to 8. And we'll say go. Down to 7. This is where these Ramanap Ruins and Den of the Bugbears come into play big time. These are all mountains. We would have no shot to win this game. Kill Chandra.
It's over when I say it's over.
They do have a lot of cards in the end. I'm not going to lie. Archmage Charm, draw 2. Another good sign. Charm's real good. Cool card. Play Lotus Field, but playing it fairly. We like that. Alright, untap. Take 1. Here's a bit of a big draw screen. Another Bugbear. Alright, that's not very good. I mean, trading Bugbear for the Samurai is not particularly great. If they have a removal spell here, it's also really bad. But I think I just can't risk just drawing a random card, hoping it's good. So, fire the Bugbear. They're going to stifle the activation. I mean, honestly, that could have been worse. Realistically. I'll just play Bugbear and say go. Now we have Vortex and the Clue up. Good old stifle. Alright, so starting to clock me here. They're going to play Leyline of Sanctity. I can't target them. I mean, Fire Temper is the only card we have that really targets them. This does not target. This does not target. So, does this target? Nope, each opponent. So, honestly, not very effective against us. Part of the allure of playing kind of rogue deck is that your opponents don't know what you're doing. Draw off the Clue. Draw Pyromancer, great draw. And draw a Channeler. Alright, well now we're jamming, so. Of course, Pyromancer empty-handed is phenomenal. You just draw 2 cards, which is incredible. Phoenix is now on 3. You draw a Looting. Alright. Cast Looting. And Artillery Enthusiast. It is a guaranteed 1-mana spell for Phoenix, but I'm going to bin that. We can do better, I think. We draw a Bowman Courier and another Looting. And I really want to get this Phoenix back, so we're just going to take the Looting, which is obviously awkward because, like, we're going to cast Looting empty-handed, but we have good things we can hit to put in the graveyard anyway. Bowman Courier isn't so good here anyway, and I want to get that Phoenix back, so. Alright, so cast this Looting. This is an empty-handed Looting, so we're just trying to find a Madness card here. And there it is! Madness! This is Madness! So we can't target them, we'll just target the Wandering Emperor. Cast that, scry again. Keep Pyromancer on top. And we'll just say go. Take 1. Down to 5. They're going to attack with this 4/4. I mean, they could be... Okay, maybe not. I think it's like a farewell, but that's great. Alright, awesome comeback. Really, really cool game. So, going into game 3. I think we're going to be mostly the same. Again, those Leyline only really stops Fiery Temper going to the face. And obviously we have other targets for it, so it's the end of the world. So I think it's fine. I'm pretty happy that we sideboard here, honestly. Let's go into game 3 and see if we can't close this one out. Mulligan both games and still battling hard. Game 3 now on the draw. Mono Red Madness versus Blue-White Lotus Field Control. Kind of a control combo hybrid. Well, we're keeping 7. That's pretty cool. We're going to keep this. It is a little painful, but we can work on that. There you go. Bugbear's great. So we're going to go Artillery discarding Walla. This will draw us a random 1-mana card in our deck. We'll be using the Seek ability. We draw a Channeler. Great. Discard the Walla. Great. So we have 4 power in play on turn 2 here. We have our Vortex again. We have Channeler. We got Stifle. Ooh, okay. Alright, so they have their good draw this game, unfortunately, which is very, 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 very scary. On the play, turn 2 Field plus Stifle. It means they have 5 mana on turn 3, which is not a thing a control deck should be allowed to do, in my opinion, but alright, let's play a land. We can play Vortex here. The problem is, like, they can, like, Supreme Verdict next turn. We can't even get ahead of that. Might be in trouble here, honestly. Attack, play Vortex. Want to play a non-creature threat to try and get around possible Verdict. So, very scary. Arminius Charm, draw 2. Yeah. Close Field is... this deck is definitely much less consistent than your average control deck. But when it works, it is much more powerful. Exceedingly more powerful. So, play land. Let's attack. We're going to pump the Walla this turn. Alright, pump Walla. And are they going to kill this? If they kill this, I'm pretty happy, actually. They're going to march it. Cool. So that means they probably don't have a Wrath effect, which is good. So we can play our Channeler. Use our mana efficiently. Get a good threat in play. You have Chandra looming as well. Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, I don't think Leyline's very good against us. Alright, they have 2 mana up. We could try and resolve Chandra here, and I think we're going to. We're actually gonna, let's Channeler first. We just drew Walla, so let's Channeler, discard Walla, and see what these 2 cards have in store for us. Hey! Okay. Little dissynergy there, I suppose. Walla and the Vortex. We draw is it looting or a mountain? I want to cast Chandra this turn. We could go looting. We could go like Channel or looting. But then we're super soft to a Wrath. So let's take the land. Take the land. Attack for 1. Usually this little dissynergy here won't matter that much because you're not usually racing against decks you board Vortex in against. So kind of funny, but it's cute. Attack step. Coming in. Cycle farmland. Okay. And, I mean, Chandra's going to be really good here. Alright. But my career decline. Take 2. Take 1. Again, Leyline, not looking too good here. Divine Purge. So, very good card in Historic Divine Purge. This exiles all artifacts and creatures that cost 3 or less, but they go off to the side. You can cast them for 2 more. So these are still castable. They're still there. And honestly, we can use Chandra to just cast a few of these and just kind of like go about our business. We do have double Channeler. We also have our Bugbear. They've got 4 mana up for possible Wandering Emperor. Plushing Chandra could draw a card. We could just like, let's see, we have 5 mana. We have 7 mana. We could just cast like, you know, Walla and Channeler here. Dragon Channeler is... there's no... we actually have 0 cards in our graveyard for Delirium, so... I think I like just double casting here. We could look at our top card and try and cast it. But... I think I'd rather just cast these cards. Yeah, let's do that. Add red. I should have actually probably just cast the Channeler first, but... Cast Channeler. These do ETB tapped. And then as far as artillery goes, like, I don't want to discard a Channeler for artillery, so let's play Walla. They could have Emperor here and attack the Chandra, but Chandra's on 6, which is fine. They don't have it. Sweet. Alright. Don't call it a comeback. Divine Purge again. Sure. No, we're probably not casting these anymore, but take 1. We also have Chandra building up to 7 here, which is pretty important as well, so... let's play... we can't play lands off Chandra anyways. Play our land here. And plus... Channeler, sure. So we're going to cast Channeler. And then... again, don't want to play into a Wrath too hard here. I almost don't hate just like playing Walla, but we could play like Artillery, discard Looting, because Looting isn't very good here anyway, and then see what we draw. Maybe draw Bowman Courier, that'd be cool. Play this, discard the Looting. Again, we're trying to pace ourselves against more sweepers. Draw Unholy Heat, sure. Okay, I think we can just play Channeler, just so go. Now we have Chandra Ultimate looming as well. So they got to beat the board and the Chandra and the Rolling Vortex and the Remnant Ruins and the Den of the Bugbear and everything else. So definitely a good deck does a good job of, you know, putting multiple threats in play on multiple axes, right? You know, 1 Supreme Verdict won't do it. Even 1 Farewell won't do it because we have a Planeswalker and creature lands in play. So we've got most things kind of covered here, honestly. They're going to Vantress and Scry too. They are going to top, which is scary, but down to 9 on the Vortex. Top makes me think they have... It's got to be an answer to Chandra, right? So, otherwise they just die. Alright, it's Farewell, but I don't think Farewell does it, honestly. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm just going to activate this. The damage from this doesn't matter, and like they could have like a... I don't know, timely or something. I don't really know, honestly, but... Alright, there's a land, and it... I mean, to be fair, it's important to know that they do have the card Stifle in their deck. And Stifle is one of the few ways to stop a Planeswalker ultimate. So if I go for the ultimate here and they have Stifle, it's a little awkward. But in that case, that's their last card. And we just fire up the Bugbear, put them down to 5, down to 4. I think we're still in really good shape. And the ultimate, if they don't have Stifle, we'll win the game in the spot. So let's go for it. Here's the ultimate.
We're done here.
Alright, and that should be the game. So ultimate is cast spell, deal 5. We'll cast our Channeler. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Leyline in play. Okay. Leyline didn't matter before, but now it does. So we actually just lost the game. Alright. Sure. So embleming not very good. I just totally forgot this card just didn't matter for most of the game. So let's see if we can't finish it off here. So now I actually can't cast another spell unless I want to kill my own creature. They just draw Dream Trawler. Alright. They're at 4. This has lifelink. We go to 3. We draw Crucible. 3, 1. I think you actually win here, right? So we just Crucible, attack with everything, and the one they block. Actually, I'm sorry. We have Vortex anyway. Yeah, there's dead even without casting a spell. So they block here. We could just cast Unholy Heat and kill our own creature to stop the lifelink, or we can just do this too. So let's just do this. And 2. And go to 1. Woo, boy, that was a close one. All right, a little sloppy there on the ultimate. I did forget about the Leyline, but I mean, hey, we mulliganed multiple times. We beat Leyline, which isn't very good, I guess. But Dream Trawler, Planeswalkers, Farewell, not too bad of a showing. All right, not too shabby. Pretty good run there. And this deck, again, as I said multiple times already, I love this deck. It's a super unique deck. It's a super fun deck. It's a great mixture of, if you like the aggressive red decks, kind of getting on the game early, attacking your opponent. But it can also go long, too. You can draw cards. You can play long, grindy games. You can do synergy stuff. You can do aggressive stuff. Right variety of gameplay and lots of game actions as well, too. And it's about half commons and uncommons, so it's not like the cheapest deck as far as wild cards go, but definitely a little more wild card friendly with some of the really, really heavy, rare, and mythic decks. So, hope you enjoyed the deck. Again, my name is Jim Davis. I'm a full-time content creator, and I'm here on the official MTG Arena YouTube channel. If you want to see me again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to the channel anyway, because there's other great content creators making great content on here. This channel's been popping off lately, and I love to see it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.